Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, Amazon exclusive, Marvel Studios What If Killmonger. Now this figure is based off of two different episodes, the What If Killmonger rescued Iron Man and the What If Guardians of the Multiverse, whatever the season finale episode was called. I don't remember the exact title of it. But probably more so from that earlier episode. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I think in the final episode he was probably more seen in the Golden Jaguar or his Black Panther suit, or as the Infinity Ultron body, and then with the Eric Killmonger head, which I will do swap to see if we can do that. We'll see if this animated head will fit on the suited body, and then of course we'll see side-by-side comparison with the first release of the tactical suit Killmonger figure, because they are the same, but of course the head sculpt is different. Other than that, it's exactly the same. Different paint apps, less paint apps, higher price, and a couple of other things. So we'll kind of go over some of that here pretty soon, but let's get in for a closer look at the Killmonger figure. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the Killmonger figure, and then again, this is the Michael B. Jordan figure, but this is based on the animated look from the What If series, and you know what? It came out really damn nice. I think this looks really good, and that's going to be the big highlight of this figure, because the figure is a repaint, and and that's pretty much it. We do get this spear though. This spear is new. Now this is the spear that he had in that episode of the What If Killmonger rescued Iron Man. It's just done in this silver plastic color with a little bit of light brown for some handles there. That looks pretty good. It is fairly pliable. It wasn't warped on mine, but I wouldn't be surprised if on some of yours it may come that way. But again, it is new. It is not the same as like the Okoye spear or anything like that. And then he comes with one extra set of hands. So on the figure out of the package, it actually has the glove, the Black Panther glove, on his right hand already, and then he comes with one for his left. I don't actually know why it comes with this one. It's technically not necessary, and then he has just the bare right hand. Now the reason why this comes on there, and I always wondered that but never went back to the episode to kind of figure out why, which I guess I probably should have, but I just popped it on now to kind of see what it was. And essentially when he goes to steal the vibranium, or he has like this big old master plan and everything, but you know, Rhodes is there, and then Black Panther shows up, and then basically Killmonger kills Black Panther. T'Challa, he takes the glove off, puts it on, and then he actually kills Rhodey with it as well. So that's why he actually has the glove on his right hand. It is actually a big part of that particular episode, so it makes sense that he has it. So that's why it is on there, and I think that is a nice touch that it comes with it. But again, he didn't put on the other glove, so I guess we don't technically need it, but I guess, you know, might as well throw it in. So we have that there. Now, in terms of like paint apps and stuff like that, it's pretty damn basic. So we had like some detail and things like in here, so you could see they put in a little bit of a dry brush like silver on this armor piece there. Like the buckle gets painted silver, these straps and things like that. We get this green color right in there, which was pretty much the same from the animated series, but they just didn't do it on this figure. So less paint apps. We get a brighter blue shirt. The pants are a little bit of a different color. We don't get as much as the camo design on there. And then, you know, the belt buckle isn't painted there. The grenades are a brighter green. And essentially, other than that, it's basically the same. Right here, these additional magazines, we actually get a green color, but on the new one, we don't get any paint apps on there. So slightly less paint, as you can see. And then it was definitely a higher price, because this bad boy was $27.99. So $24.99 is kind of the new price point. Some exclusives, for whatever reason, get that additional price bump, so it brings it up to $27.99. And it doesn't come with a bath piece. So immediately everyone's going to say, we're paying more for less. And in this instance, yeah, I guess kind of. I mean, without bath piece, it was still always going to be that regular price, which unfortunately, and sucks now that it's $24.99 instead of $19.99 when the figure had first release. That's just kind of the way it is right now. It sucks. Nobody wants to pay it. But that's what it is, before immediately everyone just starts saying, oh, we're paying more for less. Yes, but again, the regular retail price has gone up due to inflation and various things like that. That's just stating the facts there. So it does suck. The thing that sucks even more, I would say, is if you look at the package, if you look at right here on his left leg, that is a gun right there in a holster on his leg. Look at the figure. It's not there. Why they would 3D image that on there, I have no idea, because this doesn't have it. The original release didn't have it. So why would they do that if they were planning a new one? But I looked at the episode. He didn't have a gun on his left leg anyway. So why did they do that? It's a very odd choice, and it doesn't really make sense because, you know, it's there on the front of the package, it's there on the side of the package, it's there on the back of the package. You won't find these on store shelves, so there won't be an issue like that. There, the product image does show this correct. It's just the box itself is wrong. Hasbro's messed up a couple of times. Usually they'll show like pinless joints, but then the figure will actually have pins, so it's one of those where it's like, okay, they really messed up. They usually talk about it at the time of the release. Not everyone's on social media to kind of see those responses. So this one is one where it does suck. But even though this is actually accurate to the show, why they did that, I don't know. It's definitely a weird choice. So moving on from that, again, you know, less paint apps, brighter colors because it's an animated paint scheme and everything like that. The head sculpt, as you can see, is a lot larger. One thing that I think on this one, now that I look at it, is the head actually looks kind of small for the body, but I think that was probably because of the mask, which I thought I had right next to me, and I must have misplaced somewhere to show you guys, because that mask had to fit on there, and then it, you know, would kind of match up with the body, I guess. This head sculpt doesn't look bad when it's on like the Black Panther suit, so I guess that's no worries there. But I think this head sculpt fits the body a lot better, and again, I actually really like the animated look to it. Now, it's the same figure, but let's go ahead and go over the articulation anyway. Okay, so the articulation for Killmonger, he can look down that much, he can look up that much, so that is pretty good there. Not really any pivot going on, but you can do a full rotation in there, of course. The shoulder, mine is a little bit stiff, but you can almost get it into a T-pose. I guess there it is. There we can go into a T-pose, as you can see there. You get a full rotation in there. Of course, watch out for that. That shoulder armor comes out a little bit. Upper bicep swivel in there. You get a double jointed elbow. It is an older body mold, so it does have pins in it, but the pins match the color, so not that big of a deal. But the double joint gives you that much bend there. He does have the floating watch on there, so be aware of that. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge, and that's the same for all of the hinges on the hands, including the Black Panther gloved hands. You get the standard horizontal hinge on there. We do have an ab crunch on Killmonger, which doesn't give us a whole lot of movement, so coming forward is only that much. That's really not a lot. Going back is hardly anything at all. I don't really remember it being so bad on this figure before, but man, that is just not a lot of movement in there. We do have a waist swivel. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that high. That's not a huge amount. The same on the other leg. It's not like these get in the way or anything like that. Upper thigh cut in there. We do have pins on the knees. It is older body mold that was used several times. I think the first figure to use it was the Netflix Punisher, but you get that solid double jointed knee, which actually is pretty ugly because look how big it is and flat it is. It's not the greatest, but yeah, it's a huge joint on there. But it works well, at least. There is no boot swivel or anything on this guy. Foot hinges all the way down. A little tiny bit of hinge up, ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. Mine, the legs kind of don't want to seem... It seems like they want to just constantly like bow out on its own. And then one thing is weird is when you have the leg completely straight, as you can see, it like works all funky, so you have to have it kind of like one click out so we can kind of stand up straight. That was one of the flaws. See, the legs just want to spread out on their own on this guy. And that causes him to not want to stand up so easily. Kind of drives me nuts, but now that we're kind of zoomed out, you can see here the two Killmonger figures. You can see the much brighter colors for the animated version. I did find the mask. This mask will not really work on this guy. I mean, you can try and force and fudge it and stuff, but it really doesn't work. And then this head being a little bit small, once you put the mask on, then it looks, you know, just about right. Okay, so here is the Killmonger figure next to some other figures from that particular episode. I did only bring out these ones. I know, there were the Doctor Strange Supreme and the Watcher and Captain Carter. But I just wanted to show these comparisons, obviously, with T'Challa, because they are cousins. They keep calling each other cousins in that episode. But this Killmonger figure is a lot larger compared to the T'Challa one, which, is a little bit stylized for the animated series stuff. That's one thing that Hasbro is kind of doing. We see that now with the leaked images of the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, really going the stylized version for the animated stuff. So the size difference is pretty crazy, because this one was a new body mold for the animated show, whereas this one reuses the MCU live action stuff, so it kind of works out that way there. But let's go ahead and start popping some heads and see how these work. So we're going to pop this new Killmonger head off, and let's see if this works on the his Black Panther suit. I gotta be careful when it comes to these heads, because now my lights are flying everywhere, going all crazy. So the head pops on there, and that looks pretty good. If anything, it's a little bit large for the body, since the body is definitely smaller than this tactical suit, but it does pop on there, and that could actually work out really well if you want to kind of recreate some stuff from that particular episode, the season finale of What If Season 1, so that works. Now we're going to see if this head, and if it pops onto this body, it should pop on just fine onto the Infinity Ultron for the end of the episode when they defeat Ultron, but then Eric's all like, yo, we could use these stones, and bam, there he is. So in the final episode, you can recreate Killmonger in the Infinity Ultron suit, and do that. So if you have, two of these baths, or you don't want the Ultron version and you pick up this Killmonger one, you can put this head sculpt on there and it'll work out nicer. I did, when I reviewed the Build-A-Figure, I did pop this head on there and it worked, but this definitely looks a lot better, because again, we are going to be screen accurate when it comes to the Marvel Studios What If show. So that actually works out really well there. So, if you don't like this look, which is still a pretty good look, you could do that if you wanted, but you guys let me know down in the comments below. Are you going to do this with your Killmonger figure, or are you going to keep it to the Ultron Build-A-Figure? I'm curious. You guys let me know down in the comments below. I think it's great that we have those different options. It's not as easy to just pick up another Infinity Ultron Build-A-Figure. But maybe if some of those figures go clearance or something at Target, and you can pick up some extra pieces and things like that, and you have an extra one of these guys, you can go ahead and do that. And I think that would actually look pretty good and an awesome display. But you guys let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of this Killmonger figure? I get it. You're paying $28 compared to $20 a couple of years ago. Inflation, things have changed in the industry. It all sucks now. It's bullshit. We're paying more for less, blah, blah, blah. I get it. It sucks. I'm a completist. I'm going to get all the Marvel Legends figures for my collection, especially MCU. I love them. Plus, I get to review them for you guys, and you guys can decide if it's going to be an easy pass for you. Maybe you guys can save some money. I don't know. Or maybe I show something that you like about it and you want to pick it up. But you guys can let me know down in the comments below. But I think it's a decent release. Yeah, it's overpriced. $28. It's a lot. But those are the prices. We can scream at Hasbro all day long. Your prices are too high. Your prices are too high. We're not the investors. We're not the board members. We're not anything. I don't know that, what we say can truly influence that. The only way to influence is if you don't buy it. So if you don't like it, you don't like the price, don't buy it. Buy it, don't. I like the figure, so I want the figure for my collection, so I end up buying it. But it's up to you guys as collectors on kind of what you want to do. I could see this is really being a super easy pass, because it's essentially the same figure that we got before. Is it super necessary? No, not at all. But it's just one of those things. But you guys can let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on that. I know it just kind of went off onto a tangent with this figure and stuff. But I'm happy overall with the figure. I don't like the price. I never like the price of anything. I never like spending money on them. But we do it for the hobby and our love for the hobby and what we collect and what we want to display, the things that we love. And action figures is one of them. MCU is one of them. So it kind of all works hand in hand for me anyway, but you guys let me know. If you guys are interested in joining the MCU Collective and becoming a channel member, hit that join button. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.